we have a 1929 Model A. And this old girl's set for a good 75 to 80 years. She does have the rear half delete, and the sad thing about this is she used to be a coupe. You can tell because the frame's short. I'm going to say she was a two-door coupe. It doesn't look like the frame's been cut off. I'm going to say they was going to turn the old girl into a doodlebug, or she might have been used as a power unit to power something back during the Great Depression, and also around World War II. They cut up cars to turn into tractors and stuff because you couldn't get a tractor, you couldn't get a generator because everything was dedicated to the war effort. So she might have been a doodlebug or a power unit. I'm going to say a power unit with how all this is set up. The clutch does do clutch things. It seems like it disengages. That's a good thing. The old jiggle stick is stuck in gear. Well, yeah, she's stuck in gear. We do have the good old light switch. I'm not sure if that's for, I'm going to say that's for the coil. On and off, probably. The choke. All that stuff's here. It's just missing the rear end and stuff. Underneath the hood, we do have a good old 4-cylinder. Let's see here. That is part of the good old radiator. And on the oil situation, it's full of oil and it don't look too much like water. So that is always a good sign. I'm sure she's locked up look at that. Look at that. Come on. Boy, this just made our life easy. Look at that. She rolls. Ain't that something? Old girl set for like 75, 80 years and she rolls over. This is the first one that hasn't been locked up in quite a few videos, so that's a good sign. We're gonna go ahead and clean all this up, and well, we may just have to throw some plugs in this, a set of points, and whirl her over, and she may fire off real easy and simple like. But ain't that something? And it seems that the valves are probably opening because it don't seem too hard to turn. That's lucky. All that's there. I'll show you the other side. That wasn't in the plan, but it needed to come off anyway. Original distributor cap. The motor's here. It turns over. The carburetor. Let's see the point situation here. Look at that. Done got a whole spider family living in there. What are you doing, little spider? Oh, that's stuck on there. Huh. The points are in here somewhere. There they are. We'll go ahead and you can see they're pretty well and corroded. Clean them up and clean all this off. New set of plugs. This one here is a rebuildable plug. You can change the center out of it. I'll show you that in a minute, but well, she should be easy to get. Let's go ahead and clean the points and stuff. You can tell this thing had chrome or something on it at one point. Let's clean that off to make things easier, and right about in there somewhere's the points. And we'll do this for the next 5 to 6 business days, and they should be all nice and shiny here in a minute. We now kind of have the points clean. We're going to go ahead and pull these spark plugs out of here and make sure that there's not a whole bunch of junk in the cylinders. Even though the motor does turn over, you never know what's crawled down in there over the past 80 years. Let that sit there and do its thing for a minute. One of these is a 15/16, and one of these is a 1 1/8 plug. Then we got 2 more after these, but well, they're coming out pretty easy. mean, I gotta say, it don't look bad in there. Plug's a little warm. As you can see, there's some carbon buildup on it, but nothing too bad. We're just gonna clean these up and we'll reuse these. See how this one is. Same thing, some carbon buildup, nothing major, and it doesn't seem like there's anything down in the old motor. The valves are closed, so that's a good thing. Ooh, that's hot. Let's see, we got two more. If you look down in here, you can see there's a whole bunch of carbon buildup. No real rust or dirt dauber nest or acorns, which is a good sign. But there's a whole bunch of oil, well, leftover oil from the last time she was running, and a bunch of carbon. And I think that's why the old motor stayed loose and didn't get locked up. We're going to anyway spray some PB Blaster, then put a little bit of 2050 oil in each cylinder because we don't have any engine stop leak today. But this stuff right here is really good oil and it has zinc in it, so it should help these rings out. Even if they do roll over, it's best to spray a little bit of stuff down in them. It helps them out. Helps loosen rings up and everything else. Also, that 2050 oil will help give us some compression just in case the rings are stuck. Should be good. I thought them had a pour spout like the little deal, but I think that's the other ones. I don't think the racing oil has them. So hopefully we don't make too big of a mess. We're gonna make a big mess. Yep. That ought to be enough, and we got enough on the intake so when we do fire her up, she will smoke pretty good. Oh, it's full of water. That's our problem. Oh, and it's a little bit worn down. She's got a bunch of starts on her. Let's give her a try. There we go. She ain't even locked up in there. Whew. Not too bad. Everything does what it's supposed to do. I can hear the cylinders with compression in them, so let's hook a coil up to this, throw some plugs in it, and in about 2.9 minutes, she should be running. Let's see if the old starter will work. We got the battery hooked up, the battery cables on there, and if we get lucky, it won't be all corroded, but I assume it is. Let's see here. Does not seem like she's gonna work. I'm gonna say, over the past 80 years, it's got a little corroded, I guess you'd say. Because they are just two pieces of copper down in there. Maybe brass, but I know the top nub on the starter is copper. There. I normally end up losing these little screws here, and always makes there be a problem, so we're trying to keep up with them. We'll see if she'll hit off of that, then we'll try to put some gas down in her and hook a fuel system kind of halfway up to it. Cool did not spark. That's not a good sign. But we'll see. rod's out of balance. I think it's spinning the drive shaft back here. Maybe not. But we are not getting spark, which is not a good thing. So it has to do with that, I would say. I know it's not the plug wires because they're in good shape. Come on. No, it's getting spark. It's getting spark. Okay, maybe not. It is on fire though. That is a good sign. We went ahead and we got a brand new condenser and a brand new coil. I think that MSD coil has gave up on us again. We go through them quite often now. Used to they were a lot better, but it seems ever since Edelbrock bought them out, they're not the greatest, it seems. I know they canceled out the they no longer do the MSD one. It's an Edelbrock one at O'Reilly's, and well, we're gonna see how well that one works. Yeah, that was a problem. Much better spark now. Now she should run. I have no idea what makes them coils go bad. It may be running them on old stuff, and it may be switching them around a lot, or it may just be because I leave them in the rain sometimes. Okay, we're still having problems with it. So we're going to do the right thing, and we're going to go to the other engine and steal the whole plate out of it and come back to this and then see if that helps us out, because it's getting good spark, but it may be the points may be grounding themselves out, because when these plates get all rusted like this, they don't get good ground here, so you'll have an intermittent spark issue, and well, I can tell you why the points ain't sparking again. So we're gonna go steal another one of them off another vehicle, and I'll get back with you guys. And hopefully you can hear me over the wind, because it's absolutely terrible. We're not getting spark is due to this plate here. We've been working on it with a crowbar because this piece here is stuck. Basically, it's rust welded itself there, but these sometimes don't get good connection around the edges, and that makes you have an intermittent spark issue or no spark at all. And sometimes the points here ground out to the bottom because basically the plastic they use, or Bakelite, it fails and the little wire will touch the bottom. Also, rust and stuff gets built up in there, and it grounds out your points back here before they make spark there, so you never get spark. We're gonna go take the crowbar here again and use this to get that the rest of the way off of there. Maybe. These little crowbars are about the handiest tools you can have around. Oh Lord, I'm pulling the whole distributor out of itself. That's not a good thing. Oops. We may be putting another distributor in this, and I'm gonna put you guys on the tripod, and we're gonna see if we can just pull the whole shaft out of there. Then we'll just put it back in there and hope for the best. Guess it works though. still rather warm there. There we go. There. That should get it. Looks rather shiny down in there now. Not perfect, but good enough to get ground, you'd think. Just run that wire through there. Well, if it'll run through there. Let's see here. It ought to go like that, I think. And just like that, we got that in there, and now we got to put the distributor shafts down in there that we may or may not have broke. I think we're going to make this video longer and do less cutting out of footage, because you guys keep asking for longer videos, and we'll see how this does. And if you guys like it, just let me know, and we'll start making the videos a little longer. But this right here is our distributor shaft, and it went in kind of like this way here, so we should be able to just pop it back down in there and go on about things. There's a brass bushing in there, hopefully it don't catch on. Okay, it's a little bit too far turned to this way. That should do it. Well, maybe just a little bit more. There. It's not in that oil pump yet. And it's in that oil pump. We're good to go. Just like that. The points on this one should be good. So, we'll find our little wire here. Unhook this. Wait, no, we need this hooked up. That's our good old condenser. And we'll hook this into that side of the distributor. Not distributor, I mean coil. And I guarantee you now, on like the third or fourth whirl around, she should fire off. Because I know for a fact this one's good, because it's been on quite a few things we've had running, from the old doodlebug to that Model A dump truck a few videos back, so it should be good to go. We also have a new one well, that's a condenser in that pocket. We also have a new one of these that came off the Model A dump truck. Well, it ain't really new. It's a few years old. It's been on a bunch of other stuff, but that should help us out a little bit on the spark problem as well. Well, everything's falling. Cool drug that across there and everything else. Put that there then. Golly. She don't want to stay there. There. Now, put that, wait, yeah, that one there. I had them out of order. Got it there. We need to hook this one up. There it is. I thought we lost one of them for a minute. And All that's hooked up, we should be good to go. Just got to hook the battery back up, the coil up, and whirl her over, and she should fire up. Battery's hooked up, condenser's hooked up, coil's hooked up, so should just have to whirl this thing over, and she should run. We'll give it about 2 sprays of starting fluid there, and find a little wire here, and let's see what happens. Okay, I may be wrong. There we go. She tried. A little bit of off timing there a bit. Come on. Woo. A little bit of a fire. When you have your exhaust right by where you're spraying ether, it kind of does that. See? Not the best thing. She is spraying oil out the exhaust, which is normal because we put oil and PB Blaster down in there. Once she quits burning, we'll go ahead and give her some more ether. You know what? We probably should give her some gas so we don't catch herself on fire, but you know, fire never hurt nobody. Golly. Okay, one of them's got a stuck exhaust valve, I'd say. Or we're just way out of timing here. Let's pull her back on some timing so we quit burning our hair off. Woo, she was still on fire. I think it's time to hook the gas up. We know she's gonna hit and run. She just, you know, she quit burning now. No. We're gonna cut this line off with the good old Sawzall and fill that with gas, and then we're gonna try to whirl her over again before we burn the rest of our arm hair off. So now that we got our flashlight, we're gonna see if we can see which valves are stuck. Someone asked where these things came from, these little lights. They're Harbor Freight, they're the Icon ones. I'll tell you, if you buy one, get the warranty, because they work until they don't. And you'll be charging them one day or using them one day and they'll just quit working. I think I've went through like 5 or so of these things in the past few months. But you do have to buy the warranty every time you return one on a warranty, but the warranty for 2 years is only like $7.99. But this cylinder's good. All the valves are closed. So cylinder number 2 now. And the exhaust and the intake are both open on this. So that means this is one of our culprits. Well, there's some more gas to burn. Is it going down? Got a good fire going now. She's a running though. See, once you get them kind of running, she's starting to pick up on the RPM, so I think she's going to do what she's supposed to do. She's going to take her some time. Man alive, really? Yeah. We got another exhaust valve sticking again. It happens. I think we about got this and whooped. I don't know, I may be wrong. No, this one's still putting up a 5. I don't know which one's stuck, that's the problem. I know it's not cylinder number 1. It kind of sounds like we're just running on one cylinder though. Once the old fire in the carburetor goes out, we'll give her another whirl. May just be able to pull that fire up in there. Ooh. Come on. Woo. We're gonna give her some more time. That ain't the best idea probably, but we're gonna do it. There we go. Come on, old girl. She's a runner, but not a good runner yet. Let's see, is that thing is still stuck. What's up with that? I mean, it's like the 49th time we've done this. You'd think you'd get the point across. We are running on like half a cylinder, but you know, he's doing pretty good for that. Go at her, try to keep her running again. Our one cylinder that's firing fell off. That happens. Our one cylinder that's firing fell off again. It's got to quit doing that. We should now officially have 4 cylinders. We got number 3 where the exhaust valve is now closing. At least it's closed every time I've turned it over without trying to start it, but as soon as we try to start it, it'll probably hang up again. Coil's hooked up, and we're gonna give it a little bit of starting fluid just to start it out here and see how that does. Just a boom. Hopefully we can switch over to gas here in a minute. Say she's running pretty good. It is every now and again popping out that exhaust valve again, but nothing too major. We're gonna give her some gas here, and well, we'll probably burn off that extra starting fluid that's there just for good measure and heat that carburetor up because she is starting to freeze up. Like she's no longer on fire, I don't think. So we'll give her a little bit of gas and we'll see if she'll run off some gas for a minute or two. right there ought to be good. Oh, we tried. Come on. Maybe we need the choke on here. Come on. Give her some more gas. Boy, she shakes so much, she just about can't put gas in. Well, we'll give her a starting flood start. Wasn't fast enough on the gas. Now we might have a little bit better luck with it. A lot more friendly. There we go. Shop, let her cool down, and I think we're going to try to put a rear end in the old girl and see if we can get her driving. We got her fairly good and warm here. We probably need to put some water in her here in a minute, but that should help them rings pop back to like they're supposed to be, because 99% of the time, as soon as you get some heat in them, they start to run a little bit better. So we did get the old girl running, and it runs fairly good for setting for 75 or 80 years. Everything on it seems to work. The carburetor does leak. I think it's been full of water at one point since the gas cap was off, and it may have a crack or two in it, but it does run pretty good. All the valves now work. We were going to try to get this old girl driving, but I cut the rear end out of the other frame. We need to do that anyway and put underneath here. And before I cut all this, I should have tried to see if the clutch was working, but I started it up after I realized I was going to have to cut that shaft in half to make it fit, and put the old girl in gear, and the tail shaft does not move, so that means something's not going right, well, working right in the clutch. So at least we got the old girl running. We may revisit it later on, but we don't have another one to steal a clutch out of to, get her running, well, driving at least. But thank you guys for watching. I'll give you guys an update on the old 36. In the last video had been setting for about 56 years. I went ahead and we sanded it all down with 200 grit, then 400 grit, and wet sanded it, then clear coated it. I gotta say it looks pretty good. There is a few runs. I think it was a little too cold when I sprayed the clear coat or something. Not exactly sure, but a few spots we did go through the paint and primer and get to bare metal, but all in all, she looks pretty good, and this will keep the original paint on this old truck good for just about forever. This isn't a run, it's from the rust running from behind this windshield frame. I'm not exactly sure why that's happening, because that is clear coated with about 4 layers of clear, but we'll figure that out. She looks good, she runs, she drives, and we do need to put some plug wires on it, a few other things, and she does need tires, but this one, she's, I guess you'd say, saved, and now her paint will last forever, because as you can see over here, it's clear coated. We did fix this fender as well. It looks a little bit better. I left it like this because we wasn't trying to make no show truck out of it. Have to get some runs out of this side, but thank you guys for watching, and we got a lot more cool old cars we're going to get running here in the next couple weeks, and please consider maybe leaving a like or subscribing, because we got a lot more cool content coming to the channel. See you in the next video.